5 years after 9/11, billions have been spent to tighten airport security. So why are many people walking right into our country and right onto your plane? Tonight, Chief Investigator Glenn Meek on what local air marshals say is a significant security concern they've been told to ignore. Right now on Action News, live at 11.
Well, tonight, a Contact 13 investigation into the smuggling of illegal immigrants through McCarran International Airport and how some local federal agents say they have been told to ignore the problem. Undercover air marshals spoke exclusively to Contact 13 Chief Investigator Glenn Meek.
McCarran Airport. More than 40 million people fly through McCarran every year. A number of them should not be here. They are illegal immigrants, boarding planes at McCarran on a daily basis, bound for other cities. But how are they free to fly when many Americans have a tough time getting through security?
It seems we're only concerned with verifying the identity of U.S. citizens and not the people who are here illegally.
This man is a federal air marshal whose identity we are protecting. He's among 2 current and 1 former air marshals, willing to speak to Action News about the smuggling of illegal aliens on airliners and the potential threat to airline security.
It's a serious problem for the security of that aircraft to know that there might be individuals on that aircraft who are there illegally.
The air marshals are concerned that terrorists may be entering this country mixed in with immigrants crossing the U.S.-Mexico border.
I know if I was an Al-Qaeda operative, that is exactly how I would get myself into the interior of the United States.
Since 9/11, evidence has surfaced that people from countries sponsoring terrorism have been illegally entering the U.S. along the same routes as immigrants coming through Mexico. On ranches straddling the Arizona-Mexico border, prayer rugs have been found, along with journals written in Arabic.
I am not concerned with the Mexican national who's trying to better his life and come into this country. I am concerned with the individual from Syria or Iran who has spent time in Mexico, learned the language, and has now infiltrated himself into a smuggling group and has found an easy access into the interior of this country.
Yet air marshals I spoke with say their top management has discouraged them from investigating human smuggling.
Is it fair to say, in your opinion, supervisors in the Air Marshal Service have been ignoring this problem?
Absolutely. I think that they say it is not our job. The special agent in charge of the Las Vegas field office came into our squad meeting and told us point blank, immigration issues is not your job.
The air marshals say even their Mission Operations Center in Washington has turned a deaf ear to their complaints.
They don't want to hear about it. They refuse to issue a report number. If you don't have a report number on an incident, it didn't happen.
Action News obtained this 2006 email from a supervisor in the Las Vegas Air Marshal office addressing problems with the Mission Operations Center. It suggests that air marshals concern themselves with the smuggler, or coyote. The email says, quote, if the investigating federal air marshal believes he has identified a coyote versus one of the many illegals transiting McCarran on a daily basis, he should immediately contact the Mission Operations Center. Concerned air marshals say this is an alarming admission that undocumented immigrants are passing unmolested through McCarran Airport on a daily basis and in substantial numbers.
We're allowed to report it, but again, there's not much reaction to it. Nothing's being done about it.
And the air marshals say some airlines aren't doing enough about it either.
I have personally witnessed groups of individuals in a security area at the boarding gate use Mexican-issued identification.
This email obtained by Action News documents one incident in 2003 in which a Las Vegas air marshal and his partner observed what they believed to be 15 to 20 illegal immigrants boarding a Southwest Airlines flight in Los Angeles. The air marshals tried to speak with the captain of the plane.
He said that if I didn't think that there was any terrorists that boarded his aircraft, that he needed to go, and it didn't matter whether there was illegal aliens on his aircraft or not.
The federal agents were denied boarding, but not the suspected illegals.
And every single one of them all boarded the aircraft, including the smuggler himself.
Robert MacLean wrote the email I just showed you. He's a former air marshal and border patrol agent who says he routinely saw people boarding airliners with bogus or questionable ID.
I think it's a major problem that the airlines don't require valid U.S. government-issued documents in order to fly on an aircraft.
Our sister station in Tucson proved as recently as this past July that some of these screeners are not requiring government-issued photo ID. A TV station employee was waved through airport security in Tucson and in Phoenix using only a check cashing card that anyone can buy for $10.
If people can fly without proper identification, people can get in the country other than legal ways. You're allowing terrorists possible entry into the country. You're also allowing the opportunity for terrorists to fly on airplanes.
I called the Air Marshal headquarters for comment, and the spokesman essentially confirmed that air marshals are being told not to intervene in most immigrant smuggling situations. The spokesman says, in part, although possible transiting of illegal aliens in airports is a concern, the Federal Air Marshal Service does not have legal authority to enforce immigration laws. This situation dictates that when potential illegal aliens are observed, that air marshals report the activity to appropriate agencies for further investigation. And that is essentially the gist of this dispute. Some air marshals believe that if they see immigrant smuggling on an airliner, they should take immediate action. Their boss is essentially saying, call for a customs or immigration agent.
Sounds like a lot of red tape with the case number and all that.
That's certainly what the air marshals are telling me.
Yeah, exactly. So what about this Southwest flight that you mentioned in 2003? Have you talked to Southwest Airlines, and what did they have to say?
Yeah, I did call Southwest. I spoke to a Paula Berg from Southwest who did not have any knowledge about that specific case. She did tell me, though, that people do fly on occasion without photo ID, usually in cases where they've lost their purse or wallet, but she says passengers without ID are subject to stricter screening. If there was a story you'd like me to look into, please call our tip line at 257-8326, or you can email me directly at 13investigates@ktnv.com.